Good afternoon. This is my entry for exam 3. Um, First question. Over the course of this semester, we have considered the importance of embedding reading and writing across the different content areas in the secondary school curriculum. Some people, to go further, believe that all teachers should be considered reading teachers and writing teachers. Of these two skills, reading and writing, which one do you have the most concern about incorporating into your content area course, and why? For me as a PE teacher, I would say the hardest thing to incorporate would be reading. We say encore, like the specials are an outlet for students that are struggling, honestly, and unfortunately, a lot of my older students can't read or they struggle to read, and I understand practice makes perfect or practice makes progress, but I think that the students need a space to just be great at one thing. Writing ties in so seamlessly because they have to write in their journal, they have to do their reflections, they have to write their exit tickets, they have to um, write about the teamwork and the team itself. It's kind of my way of letting them snitch on their teammates without them saying it out loud. I kind of love it. Um, uh, who didn't help? Who was really mean? Who do you never want to be on a team with again? That's not the questions I ask, but that's usually the information that they give me. All right. Number 2. In their 6-step procedure for teaching domain specific or tier 3 academic vocabulary, Marzano and Pickering step 3 asks the teachers to have students create a non-linguistic representation of the term. What does this mean and why is this important? To me, it just means showing understanding without using words. So in PE, I feel like that's all we do sometimes. It's acting it out. It's drawing a diagram or showing the movement or just nonverbal way of speaking, I guess. It's important because movement is like the language that we use. You get to read your partner. Basketball. I knew he was going to shoot a 3 because he does this before he shoots a 3. Okay. Me and my partner have this code, I guess. It's important because when students can show a concept with their bodies and visuals, it helps them internalize the meaning. And it just helps them memorize the definition. I might not be able to write you a paragraph on what the vocabulary is, but if I show you, that proves my understanding to me. And then number 3, what are some specific strategies or activities that you could use in your classroom to put more emphasis on writing as embedded social practices? Let me read the. What are some specific strategies or activities that you could use in your classroom to put more emphasis on writing as an embedded social practice? Okay, we already do this. So partner reflections after a game. So students write for 1 minute, then share. How did this make you feel? What would you do differently? What can you do to work on it? Goal setting journals. They do this when they do their FitnessGram tests. So what did you get on your baseline pacer test? Are you on grade level? If not, what are you going to do to get better? If you are on grade level, what are you going to do to push yourself harder? And then strategy sheets. I made you team captain. And you got to choose everybody that's on your team. So why'd you choose them? Tell me it wasn't popularity. Tell me it was because Johnny is great at kicking the ball and such has great stamina and she's constantly running around the room. That's why I chose them. And then quick writes about like our keywords. Like one of them is sportsmanship. So just effort or what went well in the class or what went bad. What was said to you that you were like, I never want to play this again. Because we build connotations to our experiences. All right, number 4. Let us say that you let us say that you are a secondary teacher who has 100-ish students. Ha, I wish I have like 500. And you are also a teacher who wants to make writing a significant component of your classroom. Talk to me through how you will approach grading this written student work, especially if you do not have much training or experience in grading written student work. Oh, so the power of the red pen. I get it. Okay. I'll assign a rubric. So I probably won't be going for grammar and spelling because I'm dyslexic. I can't argue with them for struggling with something that I struggle with. So the rubric, seeing if the content that I asked for is even in there, might rotate what gets graded. Because a lot of the times that I do exit tickets, I just want to see if you were listening. Did you have something to say? So when I say rotate what gets graded, maybe one week it might be their journal entry, and then the next week it might just be for completion, and then maybe the big reflection gets the full rundown with the red pen of reading and marking stuff out and checking it. Because some of my kids like to slip in bad words. And when I say bad words, I don't mean like curse words, just stuff that they have no business talking about or saying. And then you ask them what they're talking about and they freeze because they knew they went wrong. So, yeah. Number 5, how could the use of argumentative persuasive writing by students in secondary content area classrooms help support their learning of concepts? Argumentative writing helps students learn because it pushes them to think deeply. So I kind of make the connection that it makes them care. So if you can argue about something, that means you hopefully you put some thought in it and you actually care about it. So students can argue why a certain strategy works, why a rule should or shouldn't be changed, how teamwork affects performance, how fitness concepts matter, and when they have to defend their claims, they know to bring evidence, then they know to process the content to a higher extent. Like I said, just prove that you care about the topic that you're talking about and you're not wasting our time. And then number 6, I usually have you sitting on a desk, but I'm in a different area today, so I apologize for all the moving. Number 6, taking notes has been and continues to be a consistent writing practice in secondary content area classes. Most stakeholders do not question this practice. I, however, was taught to avoid allowing students to take notes. Instead of encouraging students to remember, note-taking encourages students to forget, as they can also look again at what they wrote down. What is your response to this critique of note-taking? I understand where we're coming from, how most of the time we're just memorizing instead of regurgitating, instead of like actually soaking it in and using critical thinking. But I also think the real issue is how students take their notes. So when note taking is done correctly, you're summarizing, you're taking the keywords, you might be sketching, you might be writing down fitness goals. I think that actually boosts the memory, because now you've connected it to you and you know what you need and what you don't need. In PE, notes can look so different, and you might think they're over there doodling, and the whole time they're actually just processing. Yeah. So students might create a visual cue, they might create a diagram, they might create a checklist, or they might just do a quick little reflection instead of these long paragraphs, or what is it called, the Cornell style notes or whatever. I don't think you could teach note taking, because what's important to you may not be important to them. And yeah, so I see note taking as very valuable when it helps students process information, not just copying it. I think in the long run, we have, at the end of the 9 weeks, I'm not going to remember what was said during the first week. I probably don't even remember what was told to me yesterday. So I think it's important to have notes. Was that my last question? Alrighty. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.